day when the air is quite crisp. Leaves rustled past in the path of its wisp. They flittered on down past the river called Statch, water in a nearby pumpkin patch. Twixt rows of orange and green and vine sat the littlest pumpkin at the end of the line. This pumpkin's called Josh, as a small pumpkin should. He wished to be bigger, he wished that he could. Hi-yo, little pumpkin Josh, gotta get picked before the big frost. Hey-yo, little pumpkin guy, it's tough being small your whole dang life. Well, then all of a sudden, the wind went snap, and in strode Marmalade, a lazy black cat. At her side was a mallard named Guy. They came to the patch for the howlers were nigh. Scrupulously they meandered the garden when one big pumpkin begged of their pardon.
Hello, Marmalade.
The large gourd crowed.
Might I suggest Josh at the end of the road?
The cat gave a yawn saying,
No, perhaps not.
For much larger pumpkins were those that she sought.
I think we'll have you. What do you think, Guy?
Yes!
Quacked the mallard as he raised his axe high. Down came the blade and the pumpkin was free. The axe was sharp, the cut was clean. Off he was carried by a cat and by a duck as he hollered to his buddies, Good harvest luck! Hi-yo, little pumpkin Josh, I hope he gets picked before hope is lost. Singing, hey-yo, little pumpkin friend, the harvest sun's creeping to the field's west end. All through the day, the neighbors came by picking pumpkins for carving and baking and pie. Even Farmer Rabbit, a grumpy old hare, made way to the patch to sample its wares. One by one, the pumpkins were chosen and good for soon. The ground would be frozen. Mrs. Opossum was last past the latch, leaving one lonely pumpkin in the now barren patch. Was Josh all alone? He sobbed and he cried.
Well, they said I'd be chosen, but it seems that they've lied. Oh, I'll never make it from this farm to a table.
Being last in the patch, well, it's not a good label.
For in pumpkin patch tales of yore and of yon, when all other pumpkins are chosen and gone, the last in the patch must wait out the snow and die all alone, so his seeds he can sow.
Josh whimpered and sniffed, he'd soon be a husk, and autumn's red sky had turned to grey dusk. He sighed, resolved to accept his bleak fate, but still hoped that someone would come through the gate. The sun was sinking, as was Josh's mood. He tried to be hopeful, but he couldn't not brood.
What have they got?
The small pumpkin thought.
Oh, what taught it them to be such hot harvest sons?
As he lamented and steamed off his grief, off in the woods was the crunch of a leaf. First one crunch, then two. Josh felt less bereft. Someone yet might want the last pumpkin left.
harvest. I'm too old and slow,
said Josh.
Over here, Tom. Please don't you go.
Tom squinted through his old turtle glasses and made his way to Josh just as slow as molasses. With a scratch of his beard and a stoop on his cane, he picked up poor Josh at the garden's end lane.
Why, you're the smallest pumpkin that ever I have seen.
And true for Josh's size was that of half of a bean. The old turtle smiled and said to Josh,
Let's go home.
And they left the garden leaving just vines, leaves, and loam. Turtle Tom's lantern guided their way back to his cottage where for years he had stayed. He was an old turtle hermit who lived all alone. But every year came when the pumpkins had grown. Ready for dinner and hot pumpkin stew, Tom quickened his pace as close the night drew. But his cane caught a root and his trip sent Josh flying.